Chapter 1680 Return to the Heavenly Mandate Realm. Chapter 1680 Return to the Heavenly Mandate Realm. Recently, the Heavenly Mandate Realm was not peaceful. In the past year, conflicts kept erupting. The source of the conflicts was due to the clashes in the God's Relic. Shu Huangsun from Purple Gold Rat Clan had suddenly killed a member of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty and joined forces with Yi Futian's group to go against them. How could the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty tolerate such a betrayal? After the top forces returned to the Heavenly Mandate Realm, a few large wars had erupted. Currently, the Purple Gold Rat Clan obtained 3 top-tier divine arms. Their combat power had also risen greatly. Although it was still impossible for them to take on the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, the Purple Gold Rat Emperor was cunning. He did not stay in the Purple Gold Rat Clan at all, instead leading a group of elite purple gold rats outside of his territory. This made the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty cautious. He did not dare to directly send troops to destroy the Purple Gold Rat Clan. After all, the 2 clan lords of the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven were still alive. If the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty destroyed the Purple Gold Rat Clan, then Purple Gold Rat Emperor would be like the 2 clan lords of Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven and be trouble in the future for the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Hence, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty gave the Purple Gold Rat Clan a way out. If they surrendered their 3 divine arms to his Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, he would let bygones be bygones. Purple Gold Rat Clan had only obtained a total of 3 divine arms, and they had managed to do so by completely offending the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. How could they possibly hand the divine items over with just a word from the other party? Hence, the 2 parties had been at a standstill. The Purple Gold Rat Emperor only agreed to surrender 1 ritual implement to settle the score between them. The Purple Gold Rat Emperor was not a fool. If he actually surrendered the 3 ritual implements, would his opponent truly let them go? He feared that if he did so, the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty would destroy them all regardless. The rise of the Purple Gold Rat Emperor was originally not glamorous. He had seen many despicable acts and had committed many atrocities himself. He had betrayed and murdered his masters before. How could he possibly compromise so easily now? After that, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty took another step back and only demanded 2 divine arm ritual implements to settle the matter. The Purple Gold Rat Emperor still did not agree. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was working closely with the Violet Heavenly Palace. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty might give a ritual implement to Violet Heavenly Palace. If the 2 forces formed an alliance, they could still wipe the Purple Gold Rat Clan off the face of the earth. However, the Purple Gold Rat Clan was not foolish either to reject the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty and kept dragging on the negotiations. During this process, small skirmishes kept occurring, and many cultivators from the Purple Gold Rat Clan perished. They had sought reinforcements and asked for aid from the demon clans in the Heavenly Mandate Realm. However, no one answered their call for aid. The forces of the demon realm originally looked down on the Purple Gold Rat Clan even though they had all joined forces with Yi Futian in the God's Relic. On the surface, they seemed to have been in the same alliance as the Purple Gold Rat Clan. However, in reality, things were not that simple, especially after a few of the top figures among the juniors of Demon Clan returned, having forged flawless divine wheels. Everything became even more obvious. The Purple Gold Rat Clan was not included in Yi Futian's plans at all. That meant that Yi Futian had intentionally given them 3 ritual implements in order to stir up conflict. As for the 3 top-tier ritual implements, they would not be going anywhere. If everything went according to Yi Futian's plan, the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty and the Purple Gold Rat Clan would most likely have nowhere to run. When that time came, wouldn't the ritual implements still end up back in Yi Futian's hands? After the few members of the Demon Clan that managed to forge flawless divine wheels returned, they had been cultivating in seclusion. News of them becoming Renhuangs was tightly guarded. The people of the outside world did not even know that they had broken through to the next plane. Only their own forces knew about it. Now, they only needed to wait for news to arrive. Yi Futian was obviously going to slaughter his way back here. That day should also be not too far away. In the lands of the dragon gods in the demon realm in the Heavenly Mandate realm. For the dragon gods, everything was as usual. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Right now, there was a rumor circulating among the dragon gods. Rumor had it that Long Chen might have already become a demon emperor and that he might have already broken through to the next plane in Tianshan Academy. However, this news had yet to be verified. After he returned here, Long Chen had been in seclusion on Dragon God Mountain and had not come out at all. The seniors among the dragon gods also did not speak of this matter. Hence, there was only a rumor. No one knew the truth. At the moment, many demon emperors of dragon gods looked up to the sky in the distance. Their demonic aura churned. There were a few very powerful auras heading in their direction. Soon, dazzling divine light descended, and a group of silhouettes appeared in the sky above dragon gods. Many dragons flew up to the sky and roared at the incomers, showing signs of animosity. This group actually dared to invade dragon gods directly. A few figures walked out from the purple gold dragon god fortress, located amidst a mountain range. When they looked up to the sky, they spotted the leading white-haired youth at a glance. His silver-colored hair was dancing in the wind while his white robe fluttered. His temperament was unparalleled. "All of you back off," a voice rang. All the dragons which were in the sky retreated. Those who had seen Yi Futian before recognized that he was the leader of the group. Yi Futian and the group advanced without stopping, heading straight towards the tallest purple gold dragon god fortress, which was located in the distance. Above this purple gold dragon god fortress in the mountains, huge dragons spiraled. The scene was extremely awe-inspiring. A majestic silhouette garbed in a long purple gold robe with a crown on his head walked forward. His temperament was extraordinary. A single gaze gave off an overbearing sensation. This was the patriarch of the dragon gods, king of the divine dragons, purple gold dragon emperor. The figures of Yi Futian's group descended onto the steps of Dragon God Fortress. They raised their heads and looked up at the purple gold dragon emperor in the sky above. "I am Junior Yi Futian, Your Highness Dragon Emperor." Yi Futian bowed slightly and said, "In order to avoid the notice of others, we directly appeared within the territory of dragon gods. May Your Highness pardon our intrusion." "It is of no consequence," Purple Gold Dragon Emperor said indifferently. His authoritative gaze swept across the crowd, and he said, "You may all leave." "Understood." The various dragons were full of doubt, but they still left the area. Dragon Master actually personally welcomed Yi Futian. The group behind Yi Futian was also very powerful. They seemed to be cultivators of the celestial gate of vast heaven. Why did they directly come to dragon gods? Yi Futian's group and the Heavenly Mandate dynasty were sworn enemies, the type that would not cease until the other party was wiped off the face of the earth. It was naturally impossible for them to appear in the Heavenly Mandate dynasty's territory openly. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty would certainly go all out to try and kill them. Hence, their first stop upon returning to the Heavenly Mandate realm was Dragon God's territory. "Come on up," Dragon Master said to Yi Futian. Yi Futian nodded, and a part of his group headed up the stairs. However, many of them also remained down below. "Arrange rooms for them to rest in. Let no one from the outside know about this," Dragon Master ordered. His tone was extremely dignified and overbearing. "Understood." Servant dragons walked out from the side and headed down to arrange rooms for the people below. Yi Futian secretly approved inside. Purple Gold Dragon Emperor understood what Yi Futian wanted to do by returning this time. Hence, he had temporarily given the order to prevent news of Yi Futian's return from leaking out. If news of Yi Futian's return were to leak out to the ears of the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, wanting to destroy the Heavenly Mandate dynasty in one swoop would not be so easy. "Let us talk inside." Dragon Master turned and brought Yi Futian inside Dragon God Fortress. At the same time, he ordered, "Summon Long Chen." The inside of Dragon God Fortress was resplendent gold. Huge dragons were carved into the stone pillars and appeared extremely majestic. The infrastructure here was massive. Just the inner layer was already hundreds of meters tall. It itself was built inside the mountain range and was very magnificent. Yi Futian only brought Jiang Qingzi, Hua Jiangshan, Yu Xing, and a few others with him. "Sit," Dragon Master said. He himself sat in the seat of the Dragon Emperor. He then turned to Yi Futian and said, "Many thanks for helping Long Chen. Senior, you do not need to be so polite. I did not help him unconditionally, therefore, you do not need to thank me," Yi Futian replied. "Long Chen will take my place in the future. Things have become even more perfect than I planned. As for your previous request, I also know of it. Establishing an academy in the heavenly mandate realm is not an issue. Our dragon gods are willing to be a part of this," Dragon Master said very decisively. The prophecy foretold that the reason behind the changes that occurred to the mountains where the demon realm originated was all to confirm one thing. The powers in the heavenly mandate realm were about to shift. This was inevitable. Dragon Master also glanced at Gu Donglu beside Yi Futian. Gu Donglu had inherited the teachings of the demon monarch. "Many thanks, Your Highness Dragon Emperor." Yi Futian nodded his head slightly and said, "Junior has no intention of seeking dominance in establishing an academy. I merely wish for the academy to train the cultivators of the heavenly mandate realm equally, be they humans or cultivators from the demon realm, and improve the ability of the heavenly mandate realm. In the future, if another figure like Long Chen appears in Dragon Gods, I am confident that I can do the same as I did with Long Chen." Prior to this, although Senior Gu Tianxing said that he wanted to establish my third elder brother as the new king, my third elder brother is of the same mind as me. He only wants to pass on teachings at the academy. If, in the future, an imperial realm figure truly appears in our heavenly mandate realm, then, Yi Futian assured. Dragon Master naturally understood what Yi Futian meant to say. Yi Futian wanted to put his mind at ease that he would not contend for dominance. However, if an emperor truly appeared in the world, then there was nothing much to be said. That person would certainly become the master of the heavenly mandate realm. Or perhaps, an emperor was not needed. The cooperation between dragon gods and Yi Futian was also a way for dragon gods to be a part of all this. Otherwise, if they were to be completely detached, Yi Futian would cooperate with other forces, and they would be left standing alone. Yi Futian was doing what Gu Tianxing himself had not been able to do back in the day. This sort of person was difficult to encounter even across hundreds of years. If a person who had just reached the Renhuang Plain had said this to Dragon Master, that person would most likely have been immediately killed by Dragon Master with a slap. What about the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty as well as Violet Heavenly Palace? What are you prepared to do about them? Dragon Master inquired. This matter certainly needed to be settled before establishing the academy. Yi Futian said that the location of the academy would be in the territory of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. That was the center of the Heavenly Mandate realm. This also implied that before that happened, the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty would definitely disappear. Your Highness Dragon Emperor, could you help me inform the other forces and ask them to gather here to discuss this matter? Yi Futian asked. Since he had decided to act, he would do it in one fell swoop and not leave any loose ends. The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was not a pushover. He had to die. They could not allow him to escape here alive, otherwise, he would be a huge problem in the future. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1681 The Plan. Chapter 1681 The Plan. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was situated in the center of the Heavenly Mandate realm and had prospered there for generations. The rise of Gu Tianxing caused the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty to begin to decline. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was currently in the weakest state of its history. Hence, the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was anxious to cultivate another peak figure, and they had chosen Yi Tianyu. Yi Tianyu, who was considered to be born supreme, shouldered the heavy burden of reviving the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. However, things do not turn out the way people want them to. At this point, the members of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty realized that it would most likely be difficult for Yi Tianyu to bear this responsibility. In the Heavenly Mandate realm alone, there were already a number of people who surpassed him. Yi Futian alone was already a tall mountain that was insurmountable for Yi Tianyu. He was previously an insignificant existence. Now, Yi Tianyu was not even qualified to stand at the same level as him. In the God's Relic, With just one spear thrust, Yi Futian had spared his life. Right now, outside the main palace of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty stood there. An authoritative will surrounded his body. Below the stairs in front of dynastic overlord, someone was bowing on all fours and reporting something to him. The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty had a stern expression. A faint sense of authority emanated from his body. Yi Futian had left Tianshan Academy. After emerging from God's relic, the energy and will that Yi Futian displayed made even the dynastic overlord feel threatened. If he could, he would have killed Yi Futian in the City of the Ruins. However, he was unable to do so. After that, Yi Futian had convinced the various forces to speak up for him and save his life. He then went over to Tianshan Academy. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty naturally also sent its members over. They actually sent quite a few over separately. The members trained outside of Tianshan Academy. They did not deliberately keep an eye on Yi Futian. In that region, Yi Futian's every move could be seen by many people. They did not need to spy on him intentionally. They would naturally also catch wind of Yi Futian having left the academy. If it had just been Yi Futian who left, it might not have attracted their attention. However, this time, Yi Futian had brought everyone with him when he left Tianshan Academy, including the members of the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven, who were heading over to regroup. As for where they were headed after they left, it was not easy to track down. If the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty wanted to track down Yi Futian's group, they had to use their wills, and the other party would also be able to detect their presence. They could not lock down the location of Yi Futian's group. Can we deduce where they have gone? The dynastic overlord of Heavenly Mandate Dynasty asked. Your Highness, if our guess is correct, they might have returned to the Tianhe realm. They might have also returned to Taishin Mountain in the higher heavens realm, the other party responded. Before this, Yi Futian remained in Tianshan Academy as a form of self-preservation. It was because many people had their eyes on him after he emerged from the God's relic. Hence, he had trained in Tianshan Academy for more than a year to let this issue gradually fade into memory. As long as he trained in Tianshan Academy, they could not touch him. As time passed, this matter also faded from people's minds. Yi Futian also did not waste this time. He distributed many ritual implements to the point that he didn't have many left himself. Other than that, he became the master of goddess Xiao Muyu from Xiao clan, forging an intimate relationship with Xiao clan. The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty nodded his head slightly. The possibility of Yi Futian having returned to the Tianhe realm and Taishin Mountain was indeed high. It was slightly better if Yi Futian had returned to the Tianhe realm. If he had returned to Taishin Mountain and managed to convince Lord Taishin to stand against their Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, who among the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty could withstand Lord Taishin? However, Lord Taishin would probably not come running over to the Heavenly Mandate realm to begin a massacre for Yi Futian. There was no reason for him to do so. Of course, even if the possibility was not very likely, the dynastic overlord had also made preparations for such an eventuality. He had already sent people to keep an eye on Taishin Mountain. If there were signs of any large mobilization, he would hear of it. As for Sky River Great Elder, the dynastic overlord was not afraid of him. Even though the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was not what it once was, it still had its foundations. If the mob from the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven that was dispersed, with an additional Sky River Great Elder dared to approach their Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, dynastic overlord would make sure that their group would never leave Heavenly Mandate Dynasty's territory alive. Keep an eye on the demon realm as well, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty instructed. The forces of the demon realm had close ties with Yi Futian. In God's relic, the juniors of the demon realm had joined forces with Yi Futian. When they were in Tianshan Academy, rumor had it that they also came in contact with him. Although the chances of the forces of the demon realm rising up to deal with their Heavenly Mandate Dynasty for Yi Futian were extremely slim, the dynastic overlord still had to be concerned about the possibility. Understood. It is just that it is not easy for our men to infiltrate the demon realm. We won't be able to get first-hand information, his subordinate replied. Although the previous huge incident in the demon realm had caused the human cultivators and the cultivators of the demon realm to no longer have any obvious divide between them, it was impossible for humans to approach the regions where the main forces of the demon realm resided. Once they approached the territories of these forces, they would stick out like a sore thumb. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty could only rely on demonic beasts to help keep an eye on these regions. They also could not control demonic beasts that were too powerful, and so could not manage a tight watch. No matter. Just keep an eye out for any movements, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty simply responded. He was not too concerned. Although they had to be wary, they did not need to be too anxious and spend too much energy on the matter. He turned around and headed into the main palace behind him. He entered into the magnificent palace. There was a silhouette sitting quietly inside. The silhouette had an extremely sharp gaze. His gaze seemed to glow with golden divine light. The aura on his body was frightening. Any news on Yi Futian? The silhouette asked as he turned towards dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. He did not show much respect. He seemed to not be ordinary. After all, in the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, the dynastic overlord was a supreme existence. Everyone had to refer to him as Your Highness. However, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty did not feel as though anything was wrong. His expression was very calm as he nodded his head. So you overheard it. Yi Futian has left Tianshan Academy. Where do you think he has gone? I have sent people to keep an eye on the Tianhe realm. If there are any signs of movement there, they will come and report to me, the other party answered. Clearly, they both had rough estimates on the whereabouts of Yi Futian and believed that he would head to the Tianhe realm. All right, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty nodded his head slightly. While thinking about Yi Futian, a cold gleam flashed past in his eyes. If Yi Futian had stayed in Tianshan Academy, we wouldn't be able to do anything to him. However, since he has left, I would like to see where he can run away to. It was hard to imagine that a top figure that shook the Heavenly Mandate realm, the commander of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, would be so concerned about a junior and be so anxious to eliminate him. If Yi Futian knew about this, would he feel honored? Of course, Yi Futian and the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty happened to hold the same view. The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty wanted to kill Yi Futian to avoid future trouble. It was also the same for Yi Futian. In the territory of dragon gods, powerful cultivators furtively arrived one by one. Their trip here did not draw the attention of any outsiders. Moreover, those who came were all influential figures in the demon realm. Their arrival caused the hearts of the guards, who stood on guard outside of Dragon God Fortress, to tremble. What were these top figures doing here? The guards noticed that even the demon emperor of the Sky Demon Court had arrived. Divine Elephant Emperor was here too. The underlings who came together with the two emperors were also powerful figures in their respective forces. They were famous in the demon realm. There was hardly any connection among these three demon clans before this. Dragon gods and the Sky Demon Court were not even on good terms with each other. They were secretly competing to see who was better. The two emperors of the demon clans would not usually meet each other too. However, today, the Golden Raven demonic Great Elder came and set foot in the Dragon God Fortress. In the main palace hall, the Dragon Emperor, the Demon Emperor, and the Divine Elephant Emperor were all gathered. Yi Futian was here too. How's Xiang Mang's training going? Yi Futian asked the Divine Elephant Emperor. Prior to this, 3 cultivators broke through to the Renhuang Plain, but Xiang Mang was not one of them. He was not even half a Renhuang yet. Naturally, it was impossible for Yi Futian to lend him a hand in proving his way. He is already preparing to attempt a breakthrough. He has been waiting for your news, Divine Elephant Emperor replied. After we settle this affair, let's start an academy and let Xiang Mang cultivate in the academy, Yi Futian suggested. The Divine Elephant Emperor nodded in agreement. Actually, the Divine Elephant Emperor had the closest relationship with Yi Futian. Naturally, the former did not need to worry about Yi Futian treating the Divine Elephants shabbily. I also have a junior who is at the Saint Plain. In the future, I will need your help too, said a cultivator who was standing beside the golden raven demonic great elder of the sky demon court. Yi Futian looked towards him. He knew who the speaker was. The speaker was Kunpeng demonic great elder of sky demon court. In reality, golden raven demonic great elder and Kunpeng demonic great elder were not on good terms. However, after June returned to the sky demon court, Kunpeng demonic great elder found out that he had actually forged a flawless divine wheel. Kunpeng demonic great elder was shocked, and he regretted his decision of not asking his juniors to cultivate alongside Yi Futian. No problem. After we have set up the academy, junior will not keep the knowledge to myself. Senior, you can relax, Yi Futian said. Many thanks, Kunpeng demonic great elder replied. He was not close to Yi Futian. Yi Futian helping his junior was considered a huge debt of gratitude. Hence, he could only return the favor to Yi Futian in advance. The few influential figures of the demon clans were impressed by Yi Futian. Yi Futian possessed the ability to produce renhuangs with flawless divine wheels, yet he did not keep the skill to himself. Instead, he chose to help them. Yi Futian's temperament was one of a kind. After all, in the heavenly mandate realm, he had been without equal. Let us discuss our next action. What do you have in mind? The golden raven demonic great elder asked. Since they were going to deal with the heavenly mandate dynasty, his thoughts were the same as Yi Futian's. They would eliminate this threat in one fell sweep to avoid any future troubles. Both Senior Golden Raven Demonic Great Elder and Senior Kunpeng Demonic Great Elder are proficient in speed, are you not? Yi Futian asked. Our speed should be the fastest in the demon realm, Golden Raven Demonic Great Elder said as he nodded his head. Senior Divine Elephant Emperor is proficient in the Great Path of Suppression? Yi Futian inquired. The Divine Elephant Emperor nodded his head. Can you suppress and seal off the entire Heavenly Mandate dynasty? Yi Futian asked. As long as I am not interrupted by people from the same plane, it should not be a problem, Divine Elephant Emperor answered. If another person of the same plane were to break his way or attack him while he was using his way, it would affect him. Understood. Yi Futian nodded his head and said, I think that the operation this time must be a one-hit kill. We can call it a beheading operation. Our first target is the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. We must not let him escape and must kill him. Next are the upper-level renhuangs of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. We must keep an eye on all of them and try to kill them all. After that are the middle-level as well as lower-level renhuangs. As for the members below the renhuang plane, they won't be able to escape even if they tried. For the members at the lower planes, even if they escaped, they would be of no threat. Hence, their targets for this operation were clear. The stronger the person was, the more they had to be killed on the spot. Cultivators of dragon gods and the celestial gate of vast heaven will be in charge of offense. You will kill your way through the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, Yi Futian ordered. Divine elephants will be in charge of suppression, sealing off the entire Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Cultivators of Sky Demon Court are proficient in speed, so you will guard outside the seal and hunt any cultivators who attempt to escape. We will not let anyone slip through the net. How about the Violet Heavenly Palace? Asked a cultivator of divine elephants. Yi Futian would most likely hunt them too, right? While I was on my way here, I issued an order to 10,000 Divine Mountain, asking them to keep an eye on the Violet Heavenly Palace, Yi Futian said. After we eradicate the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, we will move towards the Violet Heavenly Palace directly. This time, he would surely kill all of them. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1682 Heading O. Chapter 1682 Heading O. In the Heavenly Mandate realm, everything was as usual. Nothing was out of the ordinary. In the vast Heavenly Mandate realm, there were countless cultivators. Everyone was busy with their own matters, working hard in their training. Battles, pillaging, and massacres were happening all the time. In Brahma's pure sky, high above the clouds. In a palace where clouds and mist lingered, a stunning figure quietly sat. Her jet-black hair danced in the wind behind her. In her mind, there were countless images flashing past. The images seemed to be situations that were really playing out in various parts of the 3,000 realms of the Great Path. The images included small clans, ruins, and powerful forces. The countless images were like memory fragments. They formed a complete picture within her mind. Suddenly, a silhouette directly appeared in her mind. It seemed to occupy her mind. It also became more real and clear. The aura on her body fluctuated and released a chilly will. Her dazzling eyes opened. At that moment, the surrounding mist and clouds churned endlessly. "Your Highness." Down below, a goddess looked up at the sky above when she sensed this aura fluctuation. "I'm all right," Brahma's pure sky empress said calmly. Her voice contained a somewhat cold and indifferent tone. She stood up. Her stunning figure was like that of a model in a painting, transcending the mundane world around her. She looked into the distance. Why was she feeling uneasy? She felt as though something big was going to happen. Her perception was very sharp. The images that flashed in her mind was not something she made up. Has something happened in the outside world recently? Brahma's pure sky empress asked as she stared at one of her underlings. Aside from the conflict between the Heavenly Mandate dynasty and the Purple Gold Rat clan, there is not much happening, a goddess replied. Brahma's pure sky empress went silent for a moment, then she said, "Monitor what's happening in the outside world. If anything arises, report it to me immediately." "Yes, Your Highness." Someone received the order while bowing, then left the palace. At the same time, at the majestic Violet Heavenly Palace, many cultivators appeared at a corner outside of the Violet Heavenly Palace. They were on guard against all possible dangers. A few silhouettes moved towards them. The visitors did not release any aura, appearing exceptionally friendly. However, the cultivators of the Violet Heavenly Palace, who knew the identity of the visitors, knew that they should not let their guards down now. Even the palace lord of the Violet Heavenly Palace walked out from the palace and stared at the three visitors who were approaching them. Naturally, the palace lord knew the leader of the incoming group. He was very familiar with him. Similar to the palace lord, the leader was one of the top figures in the Heavenly Mandate realm, the Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain. Swiftly, the three figures arrived before the cultivators of the Violet Heavenly Palace. The palace lord of the Violet Heavenly Palace asked, "What brought you here?" "I have been meditating on the mountain and have lost touch with the outside world. I am here to get some fresh air while visiting my old friend," Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain said with a smile. "Since I am passing by the Violet Heavenly Palace, I thought of meeting up with the palace lord, whom I have not seen in a long time." Palace Lord of the Violet Heavenly Palace naturally would not believe whatever Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain had just said. Would the other party really come to visit him if he did not have anything in mind? "What matters do you have with me?" "Stop beating around the bush," the Palace Lord of the Violet Heavenly Palace said directly. "Nothing. I am just thinking of having a chess match with the Palace Lord at the absolute territory of Heavenly Thunder. What do you think?" Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain replied. The absolute territory of Heavenly Thunder was a secret realm in the Violet Heavenly Palace. It contained Jyotian Divine Thunder. Only the core disciples of the Violet Heavenly Palace could access the place and cultivate in it. Besides that, the terrifying way of thunder was stored in the absolute territory of Heavenly Thunder. Hence, outsiders were forbidden from entering it. Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain wanted to enter the place. Could it be that he wanted to make use of the place for cultivating? "We are old friends. Palace Lord, you won't be so stingy with me, right?" Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain provoked with a smile. "Since you are so interested in it, then you are welcome to come in." The Palace Lord of Violet Heavenly Palace actually did not reject his request and agreed to this suggestion right away. "After you," the Lord of 10,000 Divine Mountain said with a smile. Then, both groups moved into the Heavenly Palace. In it, endless thunders volleyed in the sky, as though it was a world of thunders. The absolute territory of Heavenly Thunder was in the palace. In the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, in front of the main palace, another person had come to make a report. "What's the matter?" A voice came from the main palace. "Your Highness, there is some movement in the demon realm," the subordinate reported. After he said this, the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty stepped forward. In an instant, he had arrived before the sky stairwell. He looked down at the member below and asked, "What movements are there?" "Recently, in the demon realm, there have been faint sightings of cultivators leaving the sky demon court, dragon gods as well as divine elephants," the subordinate reported. "How many cultivators are there, and where are they headed?" The dynastic overlord of Heavenly Mandate dynasty inquired. "We are not very sure. Our men could only notice that there was movement, but they could not determine any more information," the other party replied. Their men did not dare to approach near the territory of the demon realm to spy. They could only obtain very obscure information. As for where those cultivators had gone, the spies were even less certain, as it was impossible for them to track them. "That means that their numbers are few?" the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty asked. "It should not be too many," the other party replied. "Continue to monitor the situation," the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty said. "Yes, Your Highness," the other side responded. He then left. The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty frowned slightly. What were these forces from the demon realm planning to do? "Father." At this moment, a silhouette walked up from behind the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. It was the crown prince of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, Futian. Not long ago, he had finally reached the Renhuang Plain. In reality, he had been close to the Renhuang Plain for a very long time. Back then, when he was training in the Divine Palace, he was already infinitesimally approaching the Renhuang Plain. His original intention was to enter the god's relic and, when he encountered a fateful encounter, break through the shackles of the plain and prove his great path. However, in the god's relic, he had encountered Yi Futian. One spear thrust from Yi Futian had immediately severed all these thoughts of his. His state of mind had received an extremely heavy blow. After emerging from the god's relic, for a very long time, he had been unable to readjust back to his old self. Not long ago, he had finally proven his great path, a whole year later than he had initially expected. It was also naturally impossible for him to forge a flawless divine wheel. He only managed to forge a celestial level one. Currently, Tianyu's temperament had become even more extraordinary. After reaching the Renhuang Plain, he no longer had his previous arrogance. He had become more restrained. However, his temperament had become even more outstanding. "Why have you come over? Has your plane become stable?" the dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty asked. Tianyu nodded and asked, "Has he left Tianshan Academy?" The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty naturally knew who Tianyu meant. He nodded his head slightly and said, "Although you were slower than Yi Futian in reaching the Renhuang Plain, the Renhuang Plain is just a beginning. It is not impossible for you to catch up with him in the future." "Father, you do not need to console me. In the future, I will only focus on surpassing my own limits," Tianyu said. His state of mind was different from before. Prior to this, he had always been in the shadow of Yi Futian. However, now, Tianyu had walked out from that shadow. On his cultivation journey, he would no longer desire to compare with anyone else. Instead, he would focus on his own way and keep on advancing. As for Yi Futian, Tianyu could only acknowledge that if Yi Futian did not die, he would certainly advance even further than himself. "It is best that you can look past all this." The dynastic overlord of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty nodded his head slightly and said, "After Yi Futian has fallen, you should go out and travel around." Tianyu did not say any more. He knew that his father had always kept an eye on the movements of Yi Futian and would certainly want to kill him. Right now, Yi Futian's existence was already a threat to the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. They definitely could not just sit back and wait for him to develop further. They were well aware of this point. In the demon realm, within the territory of dragon gods, many dragons circled above. The roars of dragons reverberated in the sky. Yi Futian was there too. He sat on a gigantic, divine dragon, inspecting the dragons which were roaming in the sky. His gaze was piercing as he looked into the distance. Dragon Master had left. Next, The rest of them would move towards the Heavenly Mandate dynasty at the same time, with the goal of eradicating the latter in one swoop. "Let's go," Yi Futian ordered. As soon as he spoke, the roars of dragons thundered in the heavens and the earth. Even those who were outside of the territory of dragon gods could hear the shocking roars of dragons. Countless powerful demons raised their heads and stared in the direction where dragon gods were. In the sky, many gigantic dragons traversed through the space, covering the sun and moving towards the far distance. When a demonic beast saw this scene, it trembled in fear as it fought the urge to prostrate. After the dragons left, the demonic beast ran as fast as it could. It was going to spread the news. Where were the dragon gods going? On top of dragon gods, the cultivators of the sky demon court and divine elephants also started their journey. Their movement stirred up a commotion. They were moving in the direction opposite of the demon realm, where the human cultivators resided. This alarming news spread like wildfire. Like an earthquake, the entire demon realm was shocked by it. Top figures of the demon realm were charging towards the territory where human cultivators resided. Was a war between demons' clans and humans about to erupt? However, there were no signs of war prior to this. Why did the demon clans suddenly start a war? Could it be that the demon realm wanted to conquer the heavenly mandate realm? The humans had been at peace with the demon realm for decades. It had been a long time since a war erupted. Now, was the peace about to be destroyed? It did not occur to the cultivators of the demon realm that the three top demon clans were not planning to conquer the heavenly mandate realm. Instead, they were joining forces to attack one specific force. Everywhere the three demon clans passed, chaos arose. The armies led by upper-level Renawangs advanced at an incredible speed. They left the demon realm, crossed the border marker, and appeared in the territory where human cultivators were. When the human cultivators saw the armies of the demon realm led by demon emperors, their hearts quivered in fear. What was happening? The area ruled by the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was still as calm as still water. However, the three demon clans were approaching. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1683 Cusp of an Invasion. Chapter 1683 Cusp of an Invasion. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty was once the absolute overlord of the Heavenly Mandate realm. It dared to claim itself as the Heavenly Mandate dynasty as it was the ruler of the Heavenly Mandate. This dynasty, which stood in the central region of the Heavenly Mandate realm, ruled over a boundless territory. Several other dynastic factions surrounded the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, with each of these factions ruling over a piece of unending territory. All of these factions made up the overlord-like status of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. If not for the battle many years ago, the Heavenly Mandate dynasty might still have been the absolute overlord of the Heavenly Mandate realm. They even once wanted to reunify the Heavenly Mandate realm and restore the former glory of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Gu Xingtian, a man who had appeared out of nowhere, crumbled all of their plans. The battle back then was earth-shattering. Blood was shed everywhere. Ever since then, no one dared to attack the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Even the celestial gate of vast heaven, who was said to have the 12 deities, was ultimately dissolved and destroyed in their battle with the dynasty. It was imaginable just how powerful the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was back then. The 12 deities of the celestial gate of vast heaven were all upper-level Renwings. Even though the current Heavenly Mandate dynasty was ailing now, it still harbored extraordinary strength, just not as powerful as before. They were not as prosperous and powerful as they were back then. The battle back then made the Heavenly Mandate dynasty never to have the thought of unifying the Heavenly Mandate realm ever again. Instead, they pinned their hopes on the next generation's Yi Tianyu. The central region of the Heavenly Mandate realm was ruled by the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. All of its territory were its spheres of influence. The first dynastic faction was the vast army of the demon realm. When they stepped onto the central regions of the Heavenly Mandate realm, it was the Yi dynasty. At this moment, behind one of the city walls governed by the Yi dynasty, people within the city suddenly felt a suffocating pressure. The people then looked up at the faraway horizon. The next moment, their figures started to tremble greatly. "That is the demon clan," some people said with trembling voices. What did they see? Divine dragons were flying past the horizon. Kunpangs blocked off the sun when they extended their wings. A wave of terrifying demonic pressure descended onto the surroundings. It caused the legs of several people to go limp. Then, the sky suddenly darkened. When they looked up, they saw that the great demons had completely covered the sky. What did they want to do? Some stuttered. Soon, the powerful fighters of the Demo clan flew past their heads. They were too fast. If not for them being much higher than the people above them, the demons might have disappeared from their field of vision in an instant. They turned back to look at the demons. They looked into the distance. If they continued straight in that direction, they would ultimately reach the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Many people felt suffocated when they thought about that. The sky was changing. The demon realm is about to start a battle. A sound rang in the surroundings. The demon realm was charging directly in the direction of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. They were not here as guests this time around. Furthermore, there had not been any warning of this. The messengers would not be able to head to the Heavenly Mandate dynasty as fast as the demons could. They might not even have time to relay the news using telepathy. What was this, aside from war? Emperor Yi stood in a large majestic hall in the palace of the Yi dynasty. He looked up and into the distance. His heart was also trembling violently. Even though he was much more powerful than most of the people in his dynasty. Even though he was merely the ruler of a border dynasty, he was still a middle-level Renhuang with a 6th-tier divine wheel. He was immensely powerful. He had sensed the movement when the demons were still far away. Something big was about to happen. A radiant divine light flashed past. He was incredibly fast as he turned around and sprinted in the direction of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. He was the ruler of the Yi dynasty, but at the same time, he was also a subordinate of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Furthermore, he had a considerable relationship with the Yi clan in the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. After all, every ruler of the respective dynasties could only take the position of the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty approved of it. A ray of golden divine light of unparalleled radiance shot out from above the faraway horizon. At the next moment, a golden figure instantly broke past the sky. The figure moved past the air like it was teleporting. Its powerful aura landed directly onto Emperor Yi. Its aura was terrifying. Emperor Yi's expression changed drastically. His speed drastically increased until he was at his limits. There were only his blurry after-images on the horizon. No one could see his main body. Emperor! Countless people from Emperor Yi's palace looked up to see the vanishing figure. They also saw the incandescent golden figure on the horizon. It was a terrifying existence that was at the level of a demon emperor. The figure was surrounded by radiant, illusory figures. It was a golden-winged giant prung bird. The demon army that was advancing on the horizon did not slow down in their invasion. It was as if they did not see anything. They continued moving forward. At this moment, the people on the ground felt a sharp pain in their eyes. They saw an infinite golden divine light. The golden-winged giant prung bird vanished from its original position. When they saw it the next time, it was at a faraway place. There seemed to be an immense figure of the golden-winged giant prung bird on the horizon. A gentle voice rang out. At the next moment, several people saw a figure fall from the sky. Emperor! When they looked over in that direction, several people raised their heads and looked at the sky. They saw the falling figure. It was Emperor Yi. Their hearts shook violently. The ruler of a dynasty had been killed on the spot. He had lost his life. Furthermore, it only took one hit. The radiant figure who was dressed in a long golden robe walked forward on thin air and joined up with the army. It was as if nothing had happened. An upper-level demon emperor. The hearts of many people were shaking violently. An existence that could murder Emperor Yi in one hit was undoubtedly an upper-level demon emperor. Furthermore, it should have been a golden-winged giant prung bird from the Sky Demon Court. An extraordinary existence of the demon realm. A ruler of a dynasty was murdered without even a chance of retaliation. In the air, on the back of a divine dragon, Futian stood silently. His long robe crackled in the wind. He looked on at the scene unfeelingly. He knew of the relationship between the Heavenly Mandate dynasty and the surrounding dynasties. Today, anyone who interfered with them would be killed. That Emperor must have been doubtful about why the army of the demon realm had descended. However, he did not expect that his erroneous judgment of wanting to notify the Heavenly Mandate realm caused him to be killed on the spot. He stood no chance. Countless people looked at the sky in a daze. At this moment, no one doubted the motive of the demon army. They directly killed the ruler of a dynasty without saying a word. Did this need to be elaborated? They had come to extinguish the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Soon, the demon army on the horizon started to become blurrier. Then, they disappeared from the field of vision of the spectators. Countless people gathered at the same location. They looked toward the place where Emperor had fallen. They looked at the corpse in a daze. It was as if all of this was not real. Will the Heavenly Mandate dynasty collapse? Some people muttered as they looked at the vanishing army far away. At this moment, all of them felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. This might be the downfall of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. Someone else had come to attack the Heavenly Mandate dynasty after Gu Tianxing did back then. This time, the battle would be even more terrifying than back then. Does anyone know what happened? A figure asked. He was also in a daze. It was like this was a dream. Why would the army of the demon realm come to attack the Heavenly Mandate dynasty? Who could tell them the reason? I think I saw him, someone said softly. He was still looking at the sky in a daze. Who? Countless gazes landed on the person who spoke. The person who spoke turned to look at the crowd. Back then, he had attended the celebration at the Violet Heavenly Palace. Thus, he recognized the white-haired youth. Futian. The army of the demon realm charged forward. Finally, the dynasties near the central region of the Heavenly Mandate realm were shaken. It was like a tsunami. It had come suddenly, yet ferociously. Several figures came forward from the palace of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. They were powerful Renuangs. They had grim expressions, their auras pulsing intensely around them. They were all headed directly toward the sacred hall of the palace. The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty had sensed the commotion. He had already stepped out and was standing on the steps. Emperor, we are being attacked by the army of the demon realm, a voice rang out. The voice felt like a bolt of lightning on a sunny day. It rang clearly within the ears of the powerful fighters in the palace. The army of the demon realm had attacked. What factions of the demon clan are there? The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty asked. The divine dragons, sky demon court, and divine elephants. 3 armies of the demon realm. It was another alarmed voice. The Renhuangs in the palace could no longer sit still. They took to the skies and moved in the direction of the sacred hall. The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty clenched his fists tight. An unbelievably overbearing aura swelled outward and enveloped the boundless Heavenly Mandate dynasty. The glory around his body radiated upward and illuminated the sky. At this moment, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty looked like a deity. His body rose upward slowly until he stood high up in the air. The thing that he had thought to be impossible was happening. The formation of an alliance by the juniors in the God's Relic had turned into a large alliance of the demon realm in the Heavenly Mandate realm. He did not understand. He closed his eyes slightly. Countless powerful fighters appeared all around him. They were all looking at him. At this moment, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was calmer than usual. He closed his eyes and spread his divine spirit outward. It expanded continuously. Soon, the boundless Heavenly Mandate dynasty was enveloped within his divine spirit. Countless images appeared in his mind. His divine spirit raided the area manically. Many people clearly felt his divine spirit brush past him. It even felt as though they could see the deity-like figure standing in the air above the sacred hall. It was the emperor. At this moment, in the imperial city, a figure was walking on the road. He had no aura and was extremely silent. He was like an ordinary person. However, at this moment, he stopped in his tracks and sensed the divine spirit sweeping past him. He looked up toward the direction of the palace. The next moment, a violent aura erupted from within his body. In an instant, the unbelievably violent aura surged out and swept past the bodies of countless people with him in the center. Several people trembled as they looked toward him. Who was this person? Thump. The ground was crumbled with a footstep. The figure took to the skies and stepped on thin air. With every step he took, several people on the ground spat out blood. Why? A voice spread toward him. It was the voice of the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. At the same time, his divine spirit continued spreading outward. At the other two directions of the imperial city, terrifying auras also burst forth and applied pressure on the entire city. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1684 Embattlement. Chapter 1684 Embattlement. 4 powerful fighters appeared in each of the cardinal directions of the vast imperial city of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. They stood on the horizon. Their terrifying authority spread out around them and radiated throughout the imperial city. Their aura enveloped the palace of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. The 4 of them had 9th-level divine wheels and came from 4 different factions. Of course, including the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, who was standing in the air above the palace, there were 5 unparalleled fighters in the area. The 4 powerful fighters who appeared were the Dragon Master of the Divine Dragons, the Golden Bird Demonic Lord of the Sky Demon Court, the Divine Elephant Emperor of the Divine Elephants, and Jiang Qingzi of the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven. Any one of them was an existence that stood on the apex of the Heavenly Mandate Realm. They were people who could cause the Heavenly Mandate Realm to tremble with the stomp of their foot. They had infiltrated and hidden in the imperial city of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty before the army had set off. That was because they had to keep an eye on the powerful fighters of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Even though they were a great distance apart, it felt like they were looking at each other in close range within the radius of the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty's divine spirit. It was unsurprising that Jiang Qingzi would attack the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. They were factions that stood on opposite sides. The animosity between the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty and the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven stemmed from a long time ago. It was destined to end with one party dying. However, why would the 3 great demon emperors of the Heavenly Mandate Realm's demon realm help the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven? He did not understand. Was this solely because of the one-time alliance their juniors had in the God's Relic? Even though those juniors could become the future successors of their respective demon clans, how could they have influenced a war of such a proportion? Why would 3 people at the level of a demon lord take action? Thus, his question was naturally directed toward the Dragon Master and the 2 other powerful fighters. He could not understand. There was no reply. The 4 powerful fighters only had one motive for coming here, which was to kill the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Since they were going to kill him, there was no need for any redundant words. Thump. A dull thud rang out from the horizon. The noise rang throughout the imperial city. They saw countless golden illusory figures descend from the horizon. An unparalleled pressure of the great path suppressed the people below. Countless people looked up at the sky. They saw countless golden screens of light suspended in the air. Many golden divine statues of deities appeared out of thin air. Everyone felt insurmountable pressure. This was especially so for the people in the palace of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Those with lower cultivation levels found it hard to steady their feet. They rose and looked into the distance in fear. Another dull thud rang out. The majestic palace shook fiercely. The magnificent hall that pierced into the skies trembled and looked ready to fall. The sky-stomping technique was the Divine Elephant's most powerful technique. This time, the Divine Elephant Emperor was personally releasing this ability. All of the powerful fighters in the palace took to the skies. Yi Tianyu had also appeared. He stood in front of the hall and looked into the horizon. Within his incandescent gold eyes, he saw a majestic illusory divine figure that looked like a demon god. The figure was infinitely large. The figure of this divine elephant had its 4 legs planted firmly in the 4 cardinal directions of the palace. It caused the entire palace to be suffocated under an authoritative aura. He also felt as though there was an entire sky above his head. It was heavy and suffocating. His father had asked for a reason, but the other party did not answer. However, Yu Tianyu faintly had an answer in his heart. Was it because of him? Why could he do things to such an extent? He was able to get people at the peak of the demon realm to fight for him. He was a person at the lower levels of Renhuang. No matter how exceptional his potential was, he did not have the right to even speak to such powerful figures. Furthermore, he managed to get these powerful figures to work for him, even at the cost of igniting a battle of epic proportions in the heavenly mandate realm. At this moment, the palace was trembling. Countless rays of golden light suddenly shone out from the ground under the palace. Incandescent symbols shone with divine light. From the sky, one could faintly see a majestic array. The endless glory spread toward the body of the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. The vast sky and the great path in the surroundings swarmed into his body. At this moment, the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty looked as though he was the master of this world and was resonating with the great path of this universe. His body was clad in a divine armor of the great path, and he had a crown on his head. Even though he was still standing in his original position, everyone sensed that everything had changed. At this moment, the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty looked like a deity. The ultimate technique of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was the Heavenly Mandate deification technique. It transformed a person into a deity and imbued him with limitless abilities and an endless stream of great path. At this moment, the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was like a deity. He raised his hand and pointed in the air. A radiant ray of golden divine light burst forth in the sky. Millions of divine rays of light pushed forward. It was as if one finger of a deity was enough to extinguish many realms. The attack flew straight toward the divine elephant emperor, who was suppressing the surroundings. He knew what the intentions of the divine elephant emperor were. He wanted to suppress the entire palace and capture everyone in one swoop to extinguish his heavenly mandate dynasty. The sight of 1,000,000 rays of light piercing into the sky was majestic. However, it had not reached the divine elephant emperor when a figure blocked off the position. It was the dragon master, the purple gold dragon emperor. According to the plan, the divine elephant emperor would not need to attack in the battle against the emperor of the heavenly mandate realm. The purple gold dragon emperor, demon lord of the sky demon court, as well as Jiangqingzi, would be responsible for attacking the emperor of the heavenly mandate realm. Not only did the demon lord of the sky demon court specialize in long-range attacks, but his speed was also equally terrifying. That, coupled with the purple gold dragon emperor's violent offense and Jiangqingzi's support, it was impossible for the emperor of the heavenly mandate realm to escape alive if they worked together. Even if they could not kill the emperor at the moment, they could at least trap him. The divine elephant emperor and the rest of the powerful fighters were responsible for exterminating the heavenly mandate dynasty and killing everyone else to ensure that there were no mistakes. Seeing the assault of the 1,000,000 rays of divine light, the dragon master of the divine dragons punched forward. In that instant, the horizon seemed to have shattered. It was not an illusory feeling, but something material that could truly be felt. The sky roared and trembled. The strength of the dragon god erupted. Countless illusory purple gold dragons seemed to appear on the horizon. They blasted the great path back and caused the sky to crack. The endless stream of divine light was also destroyed. This attack had happened in the sky, but it caused the hearts of countless people on the ground to jump intensely. It was uncomfortable. People who were at a lower level than Renhuang let out dull grunts. They felt incredibly heavy. Even though this attack had happened an extreme distance away from them and could be said to not involve them, the attack still impacted them. The feeling they got was extremely uncomfortable. Their organs were flipping around in their body and felt that they were about to shatter. The two attacks scattered after they hit each other in the air. The powerful fighters who had been standing in the 4 cardinal directions now appeared in 3 corners with the palace of the heavenly mandate dynasty in the center. The divine elephant emperor was alone in his corner. That made the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty realize that the Divine Elephant Emperor would not participate in the battle against him. Instead, the Divine Elephant Emperor's target was the entire Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. The three other powerful fighters were the ones who were here to kill him. At the same time, in the palace, the vast army had arrived. They were split into three camps. They charged straight for the palace. "They're here." The people became numb. Other than the four powerful fighters who had come here first, the army behind them had also arrived. 3 armies from the demon realm. Furthermore, they were all made up of demon emperors. None of them were under the level of Renhuang. In a battle of such a proportion, any resistance put up by people under the level of Renhuang was useless. They were a burden. In fact, even lower-level Renhuangs would not have too large of an impact on the battle. The people who could directly influence the battle were the apex-level figures. The outcome of the battle would only depend on the lower-level fighters if the people fighting at the very top were at a stalemate. Yi Futian Gu Donglu. Some people saw 2 figures in white robes standing side by side. One was dressed in a white robe and had white hair. He was absolutely charismatic. Even though many people had not seen him before, they did hear about him on multiple occasions. Who else could he be other than Yi Futian? The person beside him was naturally Gu Donglu. Many years ago, Gu Tianxing had come to attack them. Now, his grandson, Gu Donglu, had also stepped into the imperial city of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Furthermore, they walked in just like that. They could only step in like that with absolute confidence. They were not afraid that the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty would kill them. That was because the forces of the 2 camps were unequal. No matter how powerful the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty was, could they deal with the alliance of 3 great demon clans and the return of the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven? These were 4 apex-level factions. Furthermore, each one of these apex-level figures had brought along ritual implements. The powerful fighters by Yi Futian's side included the Kunping Demonic Great Elder, Golden Giant Bird Emperor, Hua Jiangshan, as well as powerhouses from the Divine Dragons and Divine Elephants. They all had 8th-tier divine wheels. That, coupled with their ritual implements, allowed them to defend against their enemies for some time, even if they were 2 powerful fighters with 9th-tier divine wheels. Furthermore, with the 4 influential figures ganging up on the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Realm, there was no chance for the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty to launch a full-powered attack toward them. Thus, they dared to charge forward and invade the palace of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. They pushed forward under the witness of countless gazes. Finally, their figures stopped. Yi Futian looked up at the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. The other party also looked at him. They interacted with their gazes. One was an existence that stood at the peak of the Heavenly Mandate Realm, the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Realm. The other was a junior who had just stepped into the level of Renhuang. Their statuses were completely unequal. However, at this moment, the white-haired youth had caused the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty to step into despair. The divine authority of the Great Path pressed toward where Yi Futian was at. The Great Path crashed around him. However, the influential figures around Yi Futian released their aura and sealed off the space they were at. They did not give the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty any chance of killing Yi Futian. "How did you convince them?" the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty asked Yi Futian as he stared at him. He could not understand why the 3 great demon clans would aid Yi Futian. Yi Futian looked at him and did not give a direct answer. Instead, he said, "The reason is no longer important. Today, the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty will be destroyed. The Heavenly Mandate Dynasty will be destroyed." The Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty glared at Yi Futian. Indeed, his Heavenly Mandate Dynasty would definitely be defeated by such an unequal formation. They had no chance. However, there was intense killing intent in his eyes. That gaze seemed to signal that Yi Futian would definitely die. Yi Futian shifted his gaze away from the Emperor of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty and looked toward another figure. He looked at the Prince of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, Tianyu. This was his 3rd senior's place of destiny. His animosity with the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty paled in comparison to his 3rd senior. His third senior's animosity with the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was a vengeance that spanned 3 generations. Let it all end today. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1685 Final Battle. Chapter 1685 Final Battle. In Brahma's pure sky, the Empress finally understood why she had the persistent feeling that something big was about to happen. Her beautiful eyes seemed to pierce through the void while she was in her large hall. Her eyes saw the situation that was happening incredibly far away. That was the direction of the central regions of the Heavenly Mandate realm where the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was. A breeze blew past and caused her robes to sway. She could not have expected this. This day, the 3 great demon clans had moved out together and wished to exterminate the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. An uprising had suddenly risen in the Heavenly Mandate realm. There had been no warning. I'll head out for a moment. The Brahma's pure sky Empress took a step forward, and her figure immediately disappeared. The goddesses under her looked up to see that the Empress's figure had disappeared and let out confused looks. They had the feeling that something was off. Did something happen? They realized why the Empress was acting weird not long after. The news spread from the Brahma Sky City into the Brahma's pure sky. Yi Futian had led the 3 great demon factions, the Divine Dragons, Sky Demon Court, and Divine Elephants, as well as powerful fighters from the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven in an invasion into the central regions of the Heavenly Mandate realm. They might already have reached the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. The news came like lightning. It caused countless hearts to tremble. Was the Heavenly Mandate realm going to undergo massive change? Many years ago, Gu Xingtian had been unable to exterminate the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, but he had caused the Heavenly Mandate dynasty to become weakened. Ever since then, the dynasty had never restored itself to its former glory, but the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven also paid a heavy price. However, the person who attacked the Heavenly Mandate dynasty this time was not Gu Xingtian, nor was it the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven. Instead, it was 4 top-notch factions. This time, it was possible that the Heavenly Mandate dynasty would be exterminated. The once absolute overlord of the Heavenly Mandate realm had been weakened from its glory days. This day, it might walk toward extermination. At the same time, in the Violet Heavenly Palace, a powerful fighter rushed around manically. He charged directly into the Violet Heavenly Palace. He had not arrived, but his voice could be heard from far away. Yi Futian had led the 3 great demon clans and the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven in an invasion of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. His voice was like lightning in the horizon, exploding suddenly within the Violet Heavenly Palace. In that instant, multiple figures from the Violet Heavenly Palace took to the skies. There were constant crackles as countless bolts of lightning descended. At this moment, the Violet Heavenly Palace shone with endless purple light. The absolute territory of heavenly thunder had terrifying divine thunder. Amidst the countless bolts of lightning, 2 figures were sitting cross-legged in the air. They were in the middle of a game of chess. However, at this moment, the voice that rang throughout the Violet Heavenly Palace rang out. A bolt of lightning landed directly on the chessboard. The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace placed his piece down. Rumble. His action was a little heavy. It caused the chessboard to be blasted into pieces by the lightning. The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace looked up toward the other figure who was also sitting cross-legged. There was a destructive lightning aura in his eyes as he stared at the opposite figure. "You already know about this?" he asked. This day, the master of the 10,000 divine mountain that he did not have many dealings with suddenly arrived at the Violet Heavenly Palace and wanted to play a game of chess with him. He did not think too much about it just now. He had thought that the other party wanted to experience the absolute territory of heavenly thunder. However, at this moment, he suddenly realized something. The demon clans were not the only ones who had joined forces with Yi Futian in the God's Relic. There was also the 10,000 divine mountain. If Yi Futian had convinced the 3 great demon clans to attack the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, Then was the 10,000 Divine Mountain convinced along with them? After all, the two parties had a commonality. They had gotten into an alliance with Yi Futian in the God's Relic. More coincidentally, the master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain had come to the Violet Heavenly Palace. He had appeared here. Our game of chess is not over. Are you destroying the board just because you are about to lose? The master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain smiled. He waved his palm. Instantly, a new chess board appeared between them. The chess pieces appeared out of thin air and landed in their original positions. It was as if everything was normal. He raised his hand and placed a piece down, then looked up at the palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace. He smiled and said, "It's your turn." The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace understood the situation when he saw the other party's reaction. The other party had not answered him, but at this point, there was no need for an answer. It was clear that the other party knew about this. Then, the reason that he came to the Violet Heavenly Palace was to the Divine Dragons, Sky Demon Court, and the Divine Elephants. The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace guessed, "How did he convince you guys?" 4 top-notch factions had stepped out for Yi Futian. It felt ridiculous no matter how he thought about it. "Play out your move first, Palace Master," the master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain said casually. The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace looked down at the board, then casually tossed out a chess piece. The master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain smiled, then placed a piece down. At this moment, the black pieces of the palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace were surrounded by the white pieces on the board. The piece that the master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain placed just now was not eye-catching, but it seemed to be the most important move. There was no special reason. It's just that it has been many years. The Heavenly Mandate realm might become different. It should become different. The master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain lowered his head and murmured. It felt like he was talking to himself. How different? The palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace was confused. He did not understand. Back then, Gu Tianxing appeared out of thin air and suppressed an entire generation. He could be described as incredibly charismatic and unparalleled in the Heavenly Mandate realm. Even so, I was still rather indignant. Even though I am far from comparable to Gu Tianxing was ultimately unable to become the person that would define his era. He was ultimately just a little off. The master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain said, "His outcome was as I imagined. He died while he was at his peak. It was a pity." "What do you wish to express?" the palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace asked. Now, the person who would define his generation has appeared. The master of the 10,000 Divine Mountain looked up at the other party. He stood up slowly. An unparalleled pressure of the great path swelled out. Rumble. Ancient lightning peaks in the absolute territory of heavenly thunder collapsed. The mountains crashed downward and swallowed the absolute territory of heavenly thunder. At the same time, on the horizon, countless divine mountains appeared and blocked off the sky. At this moment, countless people from the Violet Heavenly Palace looked up to see the divine mountains floating in the air. The divine mountains were pressing downward. They enveloped the Violet Heavenly Palace within an endless stretch of divine mountains. It was as if this space had been buried and sealed off. At this moment, in the absolute territory of heavenly thunder, 2 figures took to the skies and headed straight for the clouds. One of them was bathed in an infinite divine aura of lightning. Rings of lightning circled him. They looked like divine lightning that could destroy worlds and instilled fear in the hearts of people. The figure on the other side seemed to have a contract with the divine mountains that sealed off the violent heavenly palace. It seemed as though they were one entity. At this moment, the palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace finally realized why the other party only brought 2 people along with him. He had brought the 2 other strongest people from the 10,000 Divine Mountain. Of course, it was to make it convenient for him to do battle. There were no burdens. If they were to fight in the Violet Heavenly Palace, everyone in the Violet Heavenly Palace was a burden. How could he fight this battle? If the battle were to start, the Violet Heavenly Palace would crumble. No one under the level of Renhuang would survive. In the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty had the same reservations as the palace master of the Violet Heavenly Palace. This was the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, their home ground. However, in a battle of such a proportion, the home ground might not give them the advantage. The destructive capabilities of a peak-level Renhuang were too terrifying. Back then, he had joined forces with his father to do battle with Gu Tianqing. However, it caused many deaths. Many powerful fighters had died. Furthermore, the powerful fighters of the other party wielded the absolute advantage today. Of course, in such a situation, the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was facing a crisis of extinction. However, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty wanted to take a gamble. Yi Futian claimed that the Heavenly Mandate dynasty would be exterminated. However, he felt indignant. Tianyu, get into the sacred hall and take care of yourself, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty told Yi Tianyu using telepathy. He had just said this when his deity-like figure took to the skies. He was like a golden bolt of lightning piercing straight for the heavens. All of you leave. Having cultivated his abilities to such a level, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was also an extremely decisive man. Even though he wanted to take the gamble on a slim chance, it was more than likely that the Heavenly Mandate dynasty would be exterminated. While he took to the skies, the palace of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty transformed into an intensely shiny divine matrix. Countless symbols within the divine matrix shone and gathered around his body. His aura reached an extreme. This scene caused the powerful fighters to feel that if not for their embattlement, if only one figure at the same level of the emperor had come to fight him, they might have been trapped here by the other party. A dull thud rang out. The power of the divine elephants that was holding down the sky seemed to have been shattered. The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty charged out and wanted to escape from the battlefield. He knew that if he left, the other parties would definitely follow him. The three top-notch figures had come to deal with him. There would be a chance that he could reverse the situation if they chased after him. A violent wind blew past. It brought about an unparalleled scorching will. A divine sunbird appeared in the sky. It was humongous and melted everything in its path. It scorched the heavens like a sun swallowing everything around it. It dragged its opponents into a sun world. At the same time, the Dragon Master and Jiang Qingzi charged over. Just as he had guessed, the three powerful figures were here to kill him. Retreat. The powerful fighters from the Heavenly Mandate dynasty wanted to escape, but they saw the divine elephant emperor walk on air and release giant rumbles. The divine authority of the Great Path descended and nearly caused the entire palace to collapse and fall. The powerful fighters knew that even though the emperor wanted them to retreat, they might not actually be able to. At this moment, a figure walked out from the crowd. Yi Tianyu looked at the figure who was walking out. It was Gu Donglu. In the past, when he attacked the celestial gate of vast heaven with the Heavenly Dynasty, Yi Tianyu had also walked toward Gu Donglu like that. However, he did not achieve victory in that battle. Now, the scene of Gu Donglu walking toward him felt familiar. Powerful fighters from the demon clans walked out. Their pressure enveloped the battlefield that the two people were at to prevent anyone from launching a sneak attack on Gu Donglu. Yi Futian looked at the battlefield calmly. He had spared Yi Tianyu's life in the god's relic. He had said that he had to leave Yi Tianyu for his third senior. This was their destiny. Rumble. A perfect divine wheel burst forth. It shone with incredible radiance and blinded Yi Tianyu. His father wanted him to leave, but he did not do it. He wanted to face the situation directly. This was his destined battle. He did not escape. It was just that this destiny was a little different from the one he imagined. Yi Tianyu released his pressure as a Renhuang and stepped forward. This was the first battle he was going to have since he stepped into the level of Renhuang, but this might also be his last battle. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1686 One High. Chapter 1686 One High. The powerful fighters of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty realized that they could no longer escape. At this point, the prince of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, Tianyu, had no choice but to take the battle head-on. This destined battle that had spanned 3 generations had erupted in the palace of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. In the past, Gu Tianxing had also fought the old emperor here. In this generation, Gu Donglu stood in front of Yi Tianyu. No matter if it was the past or present, it felt as though the Heavenly Mandate dynasty was at a disadvantage. Was this the reason for the decline of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty? The perfect divine wheel had an incredibly radiant divine light. The divine wheel was naturally made up of Juexian diagram. It could also be called the Juexian divine wheel. An incredible divine light radiated from Gu Donglio's body. It was as if deities had descended onto the mortal plane. He was truly charismatic. At this moment he looked like a fairy. The Juexian divine wheel spun around the heavens and turned into a divine image that blocked off the sky. An endless divine glow was pulsing and resonating with the great path in the surroundings. That image became larger and larger. It completely blocked off the sky and covered the battlefield where the two of them were standing on. Pure-blooded dragons roared. Ancient phoenix danced in the sky. Ferocious beasts like the Taotai and Qiongqi appeared. It was as if all of the demon gods had appeared in the image. Light of the 9 words circled the fighters. Countless ancient words descended onto the surroundings at the same time. It was everywhere. Gu Donglu might not have needed to activate such a powerful technique today. However, he recalled that his grandfather had once done battle here. Since that was the case, he should put the matter to rest. The divine picture of Heavenly Mandate was also released as the deification technique erupted. Yi Tianyu was like a deity. However, compared to the radiance of the other creatures, he looked like he had lost a little luster from the old days. He looked a little dull. Even though he had incredible talent, there was someone stronger than him. The pressure of the divine wheel and the authority of the descending ancient words continuously impacted Yi Tianyu's body and soul. Indeed, the distance between them was great. He could never have expected that the two people who were once on equal footing as him when he reached the Renhuang plain would have pulled the distance between them this far apart. It was clear that he was the one left behind. An exquisite lethal will bloomed. An incandescent fairy light radiated from the Juexian diagram. The surroundings were in resonance. The radiance released by the 9 words turned the great path in the surroundings into one. At the next moment, the endless stream of ancient words descended. Yi Futian looked at the descending ancient symbols. It was as though every ancient word was made out of sword will. However, they were much stronger than the will possessed by a Renhuang of the same level. His swords looked like the swords of the mystical way. Mystical light radiated throughout the surroundings. Everything under the Juexian diagram was destroyed. Yi Tianyu knew how the battle would end when he sensed the pressure. Everything had been decided when the perfect divine wheel appeared. He took a step forward and moved toward Gu Donglu. He used the rest of his strength to walk toward the endless words made out of sword will that was crashing down. In that instant, blinding light erupted from Yi Tianyu's body. It was as if all of the light in his life was shining at this very moment. Swords were destroying everything under the glorious light. However, there was no end to the descending symbols. Finally, the words pierced through his shining body, and Yi Tianyu stopped in his tracks. He looked at Gu Donglu, then shifted his gaze toward another direction. He looked in the direction of Yi Futian. Actually, if not for the fact that they were born into different camps, if Yi Futian had gone to the Divine Palace, they might have become friends. Perhaps this was destiny. Under the blinding light, the prince of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, the person who was hailed as the Almighty Sun, Yi Tianyu, vanished into the brilliance and died. The powerful fighters of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty witnessed this scene. The prince of the dynasty had been killed. Furthermore, the emperor was being attacked by 3 powerful figures and was also in deep trouble. Under such a situation, no one could have protected Yi Tianyu. They were in the same predicament. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty was facing a crisis of extinction. Would the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, who had stood at the peak of the Heavenly Mandate realm for countless years, be completely destroyed today? Yi Futian had a calm expression when he saw Yi Tianyu vanish. However, his heart was overcome with emotion. The once arrogant prince of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty had died just like that. However, he ultimately displayed his spirit as the prince of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty in the final battle. He was unafraid and had died in battle. Rumble. Dull thuds rang out in the sky. The emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty knew that Yi Tianyu had died. He forced back his grief and wanted to create a path of blood. However, the combined abilities of the three top-notch figures and the premium ritual implements they wielded did not pale in comparison to the treasure in his hands. He could not leave. The three powerful fighters were in no rush to kill him. They trapped him relentlessly. Otherwise, it would be troublesome for them to give the emperor an escape route if they were not careful. Thus, they would rather be more cautious and slowly trap and kill him than give him a glimmer of hope. There was a blood-colored glow in the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty's eyes. Were they still not going to attack? He had charged up into the sky for the gamble of a slight chance. He had hoped that his allies would take action and deal with Yi Futian. However, the other party had not attacked even now. Even though his so-called allies were not dependable, he could not accept the fact that the other party had so mercilessly witnessed the scene. However, even so, the emperor of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty did not betray them. He hoped that they would be able to accomplish a one-hit kill. At this point, all he hoped was for Yi Futian to be killed in one hit. As long as Yi Futian died, there was a chance that this crisis could be resolved. Yi Futian was the core figure in the alliance of the four great factions. If he died, there might be a chance that this alliance would be dissolved. Take action, Yi Futian said. The powerful fighters of the Demon Clan and the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven stepped forward and went in search of their enemies. They had the numbers advantage in this battle. That, coupled with the Divine Elephant Emperor blocking off the sky, made the outcome of this battle clear. Yi Futian had made this plan to kill the Heavenly Mandate dynasty in one strike. He had trapped all of the top-notch figures of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty and had not allowed them to leave. In the air, the Divine Elephant Emperor stomped his foot down. The Divine Elephant seemed to take a step forward in the endless space. Several fighters of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty were unable to withstand the attack. They spat out blood and crawled on the ground. Even the fighters at the level of Renhuang let out dull grunts. If not for being wary that he might take his allies down with him, the terrifying Divine Elephant Emperor would have stomped down on a larger scale. Even so, the fighters saw four massively thick legs of the Divine Elephant step on the four cardinal directions. They were like four divine god pillars. Four powerful fighters at the level of Renhuang were directly crushed to death. They did not even have the chance to retaliate. Buildings also crumbled at a manic rate. Everyone was flustered. This day was the doomsday of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty. At this moment, the Divine Elephant Emperor glanced at the sacred hall of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty that was still standing. Even though it had suffered from an immense tremor, it still stood stably in its place. It did not collapse. This sacred hall might have been specially built and could harbor a spell matrix. He scanned the area with his divine spirit and found that his divine spirit was blocked off by the hall. This sacred hall could obstruct the divine spirit. He stomped down once again with his foot. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty had to be destroyed. There was no need for the sacred hall of the Heavenly Mandate dynasty, which symbolized the highest authority of the dynasty, to continue to exist. The giant leg of the golden divine elephant landed on the air above the sacred hall. A loud rumble could be heard. The air above the sacred hall caved in and pushed the hall into the ground. However, the sacred hall did not collapse completely, even though several cracks have appeared. At this moment, horrifying energy suddenly erupted from within the crack. The expression of the Divine Elephant Emperor changed slightly. He lifted his leg and pushed it down quickly. The Divine Elephant shook the skies and wanted to crush the sacred hall under its foot. At the same time, a ray of divine light suddenly erupted from within the sacred hall and pierced out into the surroundings. It caused many people to be unable to open their eyes. "Careful!" the Divine Elephant Emperor roared. He unleashed his suppressing great path to its extreme. He had clearly realized that something was wrong. There was someone in the sacred hall. Furthermore, that person was a top-notch existence. More terrifyingly, the other party had held himself back for this long and had not taken action all these while. He had not done anything even though Yi Tianyu had died before him. What was his motive? It was similar to their motive for coming to the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, to kill with one strike. However, his warning seemed to have come too late. An incandescent ray of golden light pierced through the air. A divine spear penetrated the skies and flew straight toward Yi Futian's body. For a top-notch figure, the distance between them was negligible. The expression of the divine elephant emperor changed. The target of the other party was Yi Futian. Rumble, rumble. Countless sounds of impact rang out. The bodies of the Golden Wing Rock Emperor and Hua Jiangshan were blasted backward. They could not defend against the attack. The Golden Divine Spear pierced through the air and arrived before Yi Futian. Everyone's expression changed to reveal a look of shock. The Golden Divine glow was exceptionally blinding. Boom! Yi Futian's body was covered in a golden sacred hall. The sacred hall was then blasted backward. Inside, Yi Futian crashed fiercely onto the walls of the sacred hall. Buildings collapsed while he was retreating. The golden sacred hall finally came to a stop. It did not shatter. It did not even have a crack on it. Whew! Everyone took a deep breath. It was too close. They had thought that Yi Futian would be killed. A charged strike of a top-notch fighter was indefensible. However, a space ritual implement had saved Yi Futian's life. He must have also gotten that from the god's relic. It was no wonder that he would step foot on the battlefield. As it turned out, he had a treasure like that in his possession. Yi Futian looked at the figures on the other side while he stood in the sacred hall. It was not just one person. Two other powerful fighters emerged. However, they were all suppressed by the Divine Elephant Emperor's great path of suppression and did not have much destructive capability. The Golden Divine Nation. Yi Futian did not expect the powerful fighters from the Golden Divine Nation to appear within the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. Had they always been waiting for him here? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1687 finished. Chapter 1687 finished. The lineup Yi Futian brought today already overshadowed the strength of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. After all, it was the four top forces banding together. Naturally, he had not counted the Golden Divine Nation. The Golden Divine Nation, located in the higher heavens realm, was not one of the powers of the Heavenly Mandate realm. Furthermore, how would they have known that he would come to the Heavenly Mandate realm? Golden Divine Nation aside, even the overlord of the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty could not have anticipated that he would come to attack. Even the Golden Divine Nation did not have the ability to predict the future. Then there was only one possibility left. The Golden Divine Nation would rather wait for an opportunity while staying at the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. They were not necessarily waiting for him to come but waiting for an opportunity to deal with him. It just so happened that he attacked at this time. If the Golden Divine Nation were able to predict the future, then there would be more than just 3 cultivators. Even if they added 3 more, it would never surpass the lineup presented by Yi Futian and the others. Of course, this was because no one knew that he would persuade the 4 principalities to form an alliance. If the battle were to be waged in another way, such as the battle between the Celestial Gate of Vast Heaven and the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty, in which 3 major characters from the Golden Divine Nation were blending in under cover of another, then it would be enough to determine the outcome of the battle. That would be enough to demand his life. 3 major characters of great power came to the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty just to wait for a chance to kill him. Clearly, this was an order from the Lord of the Divine Nation. After the slaying of his 2 descendants, the Lord of the Divine Nation was presumably still unwilling to let the matter rest even with the intervention from the empty imperial palace. So he had employed another method to deal with Yi Futian by blending into the Heavenly Mandate Dynasty. The reality of the situation was quite similar to what Yi Futian had imagined. In the turmoil at the God's Relic, the cultivators of the empty imperial palace came and spoke so that none of the top forces were in a position to attack Yi Futian freely. After all, everyone knew that the empty imperial palace was under the command of Donghuang the Great. The Golden Divine Nation also had other concerns. Empty imperial palace had given a warning. He had to take it into consideration, but how could he forgive the deaths of his sons? What kind of man was the overlord of the divine nation, that he would really let Yi Futian off the hook with just a few words? Should his 2 sons die in vain? Therefore, he sent men inside the heavenly mandate dynasty. These 3 cultivators were secretly from the heavenly mandate dynasty. The grievances between Yi Futian and the heavenly mandate dynasty would boil over sooner or later. When the time came for the battle to break out, even Donghuang the Great would be hard-pressed to interfere. Yi Futian's death would then have nothing to do with the Golden Divine Nation. Today, Yi Futian happened to come and attack. Once Yi Futian entered the heavenly mandate dynasty, would they not resist? Killing Yi Futian here and now would free them of any future worries. However, with the arrival of Yi Futian this time, the lineup was frightfully strong. Even with their 3 strong cultivators, they were at an absolute disadvantage. They did not make themselves known. They had even kept quiet when Yi Tianyu died. They were only waiting for the moment when the other party relaxed their vigilance so that they might vanquish him with one blow. Killing Yi Futian would cause the alliance to collapse, and then none of these forces in the heavenly mandate realm would dare to keep them. How strong was the Golden Divine Nation? In the higher heavens realm, the Golden Divine Nation was probably the strongest power outside the Divine Palace. However, because the Divine Palace cared not for the grievances from the outside world, it could be said that Golden Divine Nation was the strongest power in the higher heavens realm. This could be seen by Gai Shirshir's daring attack on Yi Futian outside the Divine Palace without any concerns. There were powerful men in the Divine Nation who acted as divine generals under the command of Donghuang the Great. And now there was no power that could be regarded as a threat to the Golden Divine Nation. It could be said that even in the times when the old overlord of the heavenly mandate dynasty was in charge, the Golden Divine Nation would still be able to suppress it. It was a pity that this mortal blow failed to end Yi Futian's life as she wished, and a spatial divine implement saved Yi Futian's life. If it were just armor worn on his body, no matter how excellent of an implement it was, Yi Futian would still die. That might of the way was enough to kill him through the defensive armor. Even a divine implement would still depend on who was using it, and it was impossible to use it against Peak Renhuang. However, in that case, the person who used it would die while the divine implement would still stay intact. Unless the realm was higher than the level of the divine implement, it was impossible to destroy the implement through attack only. Therefore, a spatial divine implement happened to be of use. Of course, this kind of divine implement did not appear to have a substantial effect, and the efforts in refining one such divine implement could be used to refine many other divine implements. As such, it was very rare. Even so, Yi Futian was injured through the air, but his injury was not serious. 1 divine wheel 9th order and 2 divine wheel of the 8th order. Yi Futian stared at the opposite side. Yi Futian said to Hua Jiangshan. Hua Jiangshan was the clan lord of the celestial gate of vast heaven, so naturally he wanted to participate in the fight, but both Yi Futian and Gu Donglu must be protected. Rest assured that we are not so weak. If we can't stop it, I will summon the divine implement for defense, Yi Futian said. Very well. When Hua Jiangshan heard Yi Futian say so, he also stepped forward to join the battle. Even with the 3 great Renhuang of the Golden Divine Nation joining in, it was still a one-sided situation. It's over. In the distance, countless were watching this battle, and the sound of collisions sounded in their ears again and again, causing their hearts to beat violently. The Heavenly Mandate dynasty had been dominating the Heavenly Mandate realm for many years. It was about to meet its end today. Everyone could see it. Just as Yi Futian had said, the dynasty should be destroyed. It was just that no one thought that the Heavenly Mandate dynasty would be destroyed at the hands of a white-haired young man who was new to the realm of Renhuang. He had not even been famous for long. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.